Welcome to Lesson 1 of the Safety and Violence Prevention Curriculum, Barriers to Academic Achievement. This training has been approved by the Ohio Department of Education and was created in consultation with experts on the topics covered. The purpose of today's training is to help you feel more confident about responding to students who might be struggling in school and life, and to give you some ideas about what to do and where to go for more information. You are not being asked to provide therapeutic interventions for the students involved. We hope you will be able to let the student know that you notice them and that you care, and that you will be able to refer the students involved to the professionals who are trained to provide interventions. It is also important to note that every lesson of this training will highlight resources for more information. Lesson 1 is designed to provide you with the big picture as it relates to student health, safety, well-being, and ultimately to academic achievement. Specifically, this lesson will focus on various mental and behavioral health and substance use and abuse issues in students. Educators are not expected to be a mental or behavioral health professional. Rather, you have the opportunity to recognize the subtle changes that you see in students and perhaps catch the problem before it gets bigger. This lesson will cover the topics of resilience and protective factors, stigma of mental and behavioral health issues, mental and behavioral health issues, how do I know what to look for, identifying substance use and abuse in students, identifying substance prevalence and use among students, substance use, how do I know what to look for, substance abuse, how do I know what to look for, the power of one caring adult, the role of school professional. You will take a quiz, and there will be additional national, state, and local resources available to you. For many years, mental and behavioral health issues have been associated with a weak character, lack of moral fortitude, and failure. For this reason, many people stigmatize mental and behavioral health issues and equate them with morality and character issues. Now, scientists have found that chemistry of the brain and body, as well as environmental factors, influence how susceptible a person might be to the disease of alcoholism and offer a variety of treatment strategies, including medication, abstinence, and for some, prayer or meditation. Another example is depression, which was once equated with laziness and acted as a ne'er-do-well. This condition, too, has been linked to the chemistry of the brain and body as well as to environmental factors. The point is that both facilitators and participants might benefit from private reflection on opinions, biases, and attitudes about mental and behavioral health issues. Culture, gender, economics, and other demographic variables may influence the ways in which and to the extent to which young people express their distress. Regardless of the nature of students' problems, if no assistance from caring adults is forthcoming, children's distress may become more intense, and then the problems reach crisis levels. In a crisis, a student's pain may manifest in one of two ways. They can turn their pain inward, or they can direct their pain outward. It is important that you recognize the changes that exist in student behavior. If the student cannot ask you for help, then you must extend yourself to make a referral. These warning signs overlap with each other and may be indicative of a variety of different social, emotional, and behavioral health issues. This training has been designed to highlight the need for educators to notice and refer young people to professionals who can help address problems before they escalate to crisis levels. Mental and behavioral health issues. How do I know what to look for? Mental illnesses are biologically based brain disorders. They cannot be overcome through willpower and are not related to a person's character or intelligence. They are medical conditions that disrupt a person's thinking, feeling, mood, daily functioning, and ability to relate to others. People affected can be of any age, race, religion, or income. Mental illness comes in a variety of forms and is accompanied by a number of related symptoms. Symptoms vary depending on the type and severity of the condition. Some general symptoms that may suggest a mental disorder include depression, anxiety, unusual forgetfulness, unusual sleeping habits or behavior that is contraindicated by a student's health condition might indicate that the student is struggling. Again, you are not being asked to counsel the student. That is the role of the counselor, social worker, or agency. These professionals will need only the name of the student. The general indicators of substance abuse and use include anxiety or nervousness and a general sense that the student is out of it. Please note that students who are failing or underachieving are also at higher risk of experiencing problems with these issues. By being aware of how students are functioning, you can notice, reach out, and refer them for support. Elementary school students who are experiencing depression or academic failure may not be abusing substances themselves, but their families may be doing so. Substance use or abuse by students or by members of students' families will result in barriers to learning. While it is documented that some children use substances, the most common problems for elementary students arise from the substance use and abuse by family members. In addition to potential physiological problems such as fetal alcohol syndrome disorder and fetal alcohol effect, family substance use abuse creates challenges for children in terms of developmental delays, emotional issues, and survival issues in terms of family finances. Depending on the extent of the use or abuse of substances for children who grow up in substance-using family systems, substance use may become a learned way to address life's challenges. Identifying substance prevalence and use among students. Prevalence rates for alcohol use can be compared using the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System. This data is compiled every 2 years. The CDC survey is administered nationally to high school students. From these data sets, it is possible to see statistics for youth at the national and state levels. Educators may want to find out about the prevalence and use among students in their building or district. Additional information can be located in the additional resources from the Ohio Department of Health Youth Risk Behavior. Substance use. How do I know what to look for? Many of the warning signs of student mental or behavioral health issues overlap with the indicators of student substance use, abuse, and addiction. As stated previously, when students are struggling with barriers to learning, they show a decline in schoolwork, their grades slip or drop dramatically, miss school, skipping secretly or being too tired or sick to attend, have unexplainable and dramatic mood changes, irritable, crying, jags, drop out of usual activities such as music, sports, or hobbies, change their physical appearance, poor hygiene, unusual style changes, lose motivation, seem depressed or anxious, are forgetful, and change their sleeping habits, are tired, possibly fall asleep in class. Substance abuse. How do I know what to look for? When students are struggling with substance abuse, use, or addiction, the Centers for Disease Control and the Adolescent Substance Abuse Knowledge Base indicate that these students suddenly change friends and do not introduce new friends to parents, may take money or valuables from others' purses, lockers, desks, or homes, show furtive or secretive behavior such as locking bedroom doors and taking a long time to answer, have hostile aggressive outbursts. Signs of substance abuse may include smell of alcohol or marijuana on their breath or body, are negative, argumentative, or destructive, are paranoid, confused, or anxious, and overreact to criticism. Signs of substance abuse include act rebelliously, are overly tired or hyperactive, exhibit drastic weight loss or gain, always need money or have excessive amounts of money. It is important to note from these lists of symptoms that school professionals are looking for patterns of behaviors that might indicate a student is struggling with life choices. Educators should not take any one of these signs as a definitive certainty of substance use, abuse, or addiction. The power of one caring adult. As we all know, life can deal anyone some pretty serious challenges. Our students face problems with physical health, mental health, families, and communities. To deal with these stressors, students need healthy coping abilities and perspectives on life, which together create resilience. One model of resilience has been proposed by the Search Institute, which has presented the 40 developmental assets. Schools can influence some of these 40 assets, and we can focus on these as we think about ways to help our students to be successful in school. The 40 developmental assets list is available in a separate document under additional resources. It is recommended that you review these 40 developmental assets. All these assets speak to how important one caring adult can be in the life of a young person. The caring adult can be a parent, another family member, a neighbor, or a school professional. The role of school professional. It is likely that teachers or educators will experience students that display signs and symptoms of mental illness or substance use abuse in the classroom or school building. It is important that teachers or educators are confident in identifying and referring students with the signs and symptoms of mental illness. The referral process for students in your building or in the district can be accessed through the staff handbook under Student Services. Additional information can be accessed through education.ohio.gov and through Facebook, LinkedIn, Storify, Twitter, YouTube, and other Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services.